game. In the lower left hand corner of Deadwing, his map choice, it's MVP Center, the blue Terran player, going up against a very unfortunate in game number 1, Ryung from Axiom Esports. And again, very unfortunate in game 1. It was a little bit odd. I mean, it's as simple as he just messed up his control, and that was it from there, right? You know, there's not too much else to say about it. You lose that first Reaper, and immediately the second Reaper is in trouble. But then to lose the second Reaper as well, I mean, it's kind of more or less game. You cut workers to do that. You didn't really get much worker damage done. I think you got 2 worker kills, which isn't really quite enough. So yeah, barracks on the way down here for Ryung, and both players opened up with a gas first into that barracks. Centers was a little bit slower here actually. His barracks slightly slower as well. In fact, the barracks is at the same time. His gas was slightly slow. He's about 10 gas behind, so very minimal difference here. It's going to be a gas first versus gas first opening, which means we're going to see some very aggressive Terran play from either side in this game. So barracks comes down for is going to finish up here for Ryung and Center very shortly. And not too much going on. I mean, Deadwing, a much different map to Varney Research Station. I mean, we didn't really get to see much of Varney. But I imagine Center was probably going to look to play mech on it. I mean, he played mech on it against Hurricane, and I mean, I guess something we didn't really discuss is why did he decide to play mech on that map against Hurricane? I actually think it's a great map for mech. You know, you can get free bases very easily, and it's very narrow, which generally is great for mech because it means you just kind of slowly kind of hop, you know, push with your tanks. You know, the possibility of counterattacks, etc., doesn't work out too well. You know, as it turned out, Hurricane actually got into a fantastic position in the game. And he was all over the place, counter-attacking, warping in stalkers, blinking on top of tanks, etc. But I could understand why Center wanted to play mech on it, so I think we would have expected to see mech on that last map. Here on Deadwing, what do we see? Well, I think mech or marine tank kind of both work. Second gas here for Center very quickly, and a little bit of a later starport because of it. Very interesting then. So both players kind of deviating a little bit here. Just the starport for Ryung. He starts a Hellion as well. Both players started a Hellion. But no second gas for Ryung. So again, it just looks as though we want to see something very aggressive here out of Center. In fact, he's actually opened up with a Reaper from the gas first, which is pretty cool, pretty nifty. It's great for scouting with. I didn't actually notice that in the production tab before, but oh! Well, Ryung should sat down immediately. And that's a nice little victory here for Ryung at the start of game number 2. So Hellion pops out, and another Hellion on the way. And this Hellion is... oh, it's going to turn around, actually. Okay. He turns around. Not too sure where he wants to go. There we go. Okay, both Hellions. No? Going to go back home? These Hellions don't know what they want to do. I guess they're going to jump up. Okay, they're going to get repaired, actually. So Hellion going to get repaired up here. And Center's also repairing his Hellion right now. A little bit of damage done by Hellions on either side. So Center's actually making a Viking. He's made Hellions of his own, and I guess he's going to go into a Banshee play right now, and that's what all of the gas is for, Cloak Banshee. So I imagine the Cloak will start up here very shortly, and Hellions crossing the middle of the map right now. Ryung's about to come in here into this main base. He's starting to drop off a couple of Marines, and Viking gets a couple of shots off as well. There's been a good defense so far by our Blue Terran player, Center. He completely turns this around, can't quite get the medevac kill. Ryung will stay safe with that. And both players kind of get stuck here now on this 1-1-1 composition, but I think it's a little bit better actually for Center. I mean, he's actually 3 workers ahead. He is getting a Raven out. He is looking really good here in this game because he got a second gas as well. I mean, he's actually looking great right now, and Ryung might very well go for another little bit of a drop here, try and do a little bit more damage. And he's going to come in right now, and this actually might be the damage he wants to... this might be his way in here to get some damage done. There's 4 Hellions in position though, and if they react immediately, they're going to try and start doing something. Ryung's just going to try and drop on top of this, but I think he's just going to lose everything maybe. SCVs are being pulled as well. No real damage going down. Well, the Raven goes down. Auto turret is popped out as well, but there's going to be a lot of damage done, and The Viking picks off the medevac, but still Hellions and Marines here to do so much work and damage. They're going to kill every single SCV. Every single SCV. Oh my lord, 13 SCVs remain. And Viking comes in now as well, and that's going to help out. Ryung is actually going to be able to camp this Viking if it pops back up for center. The Banshee's about to pop out as well. It's going to take a shot straight away here. And, I mean, Ryung sees this, and that's pretty huge. He's actually going to save that Marine as well, which is stranded to the left-hand side. So maybe not quite every single SCV, as I was saying before, but quite a lot. 16 were killed in total, and that puts Ryung in an amazing position here in game number 2. Did he cancel his, I think he cancelled his orbital, his command center. He's cancelled his command center. I think center is just going to kind of completely rely on attempting to do some damage with the Cloak Banshee and follow it up with just a tank push. Try and win the game, but Ryung, I mean, he's making tanks of his own. It's going to be very hard for him to do anything here, I think, as these Vikings moving around, a little bit unsure as to where they want to go, as the Cloak Banshee comes in, and we'll be able to try and pick off a couple of these SCVs. And there we go, you see 2 SCVs going down, but that's not really the damage which Center needs to do right now. And Ryung looking pretty good here in the second game. A scan comes down, goodbye Banshee. And I mean, again, what does Center aim for in this game now? I mean, again, I think he just wants to push across the map and try and win it. But it's going to be very, very difficult. For, Ryung, that was so brave, dropping on top of everything. I mean, it worked out. I thought, though, like, if he just starts dropping, the Hellions will just get a couple of shots off before everything's out, and it'll just even things up enough. But no, some major damage done. Ryung, 13 workers ahead, still a command center ahead, 2 tanks out, so he's very good defensively. He's actually sending a drop across the map. And that might very well get intercepted by this Viking. That being said, the Viking might very well get intercepted by these 2 Vikings. As the Banshee Cloaked is coming through the middle, and will start picking off these Marines, or gets a shot off. Will back off now, doesn't want to lose that. There's Viking pulling back as well, and Center kind of hoping, I guess, that Ryung just walks into him. Does Ryung know about the command center on the natural? No, he has no idea, so I don't think he really knows that his opponent lies ahead of base. If he knew he was ahead of base right now, I think the last thing he would be doing would be pushing across the map. I mean, why try and end the game now when you're 13 SCVs ahead? Like, he's slightly ahead in army, but compared to how far ahead he is in economy, he's not very far ahead. I mean, he might just win this anyways, because he's caught center unsieged. He's continuing to push forwards. He's getting a little bit caught on this ledge, and Ryung's going to start sieging up. He's going to see no natural commands, and he's just going to be like, well, I'm in an amazing position here. And sieges, he's going to keep pushing forward. There's 1 tank here on the high ground, and Ryung's going to start walking into it, guys. Oh dear. This is not how this is meant to go. I think Ryung should be okay anyway, though, because he's still got the siege tanks already in position, and he does pick off that first tank of center. And he's got air control as well, so it's going to be nigh on impossible for Center to slowly push forwards and outrange his opponent. The Cloak Banshee here is picking off some reinforcements, but that's only the first few Marines it's picking off right now. It's only picked off 3 until this Banshee comes in back into the main, and will fly very close to it. We'll start taking some damage on the Viking, and okay, he's just going to let that die there. 3 workers killed off. Whoa, I think this Banshee may have... Where's the other Banshee gone? Is it dead? Wow, he lost it as well. I think the story of the other Banshee was that he's just left it there. It's run out of cloak energy, and the Marines have just killed it off. Center going to try and move forwards a little bit. Oh, the perfect scan timing though, and Center will just immediately GG out of there.